So I had to do it. I had to spend a couple days wearing both an Apple Watch and a OnePlus Watch at the same time. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. So I want to start this video with a quote, actually. Expectations are the thief of joy. It's very true. So a lot of people, including myself actually, before this was announced, when we heard that OnePlus was going to be making a watch, we all thought, oh, great, okay, that'll probably be a pretty premium type of thing. Maybe this is like the Apple Watch for Android type of thing that a lot of us have been waiting for a long time. So there are other smartwatches for Android. There are the Galaxy Watches of the world. There's Moto 360s. There's even rumors of potentially a Pixel Watch upcoming. But as of right now, there is no equal to the Apple Watch if you don't have an iPhone. If you use an Android phone, you won't have the same experience. So now, player 4 enters the game. OnePlus is in the picture, right? And hey, well, they've been doing the premium thing a lot lately. They've been wanting to get into that upper echelon. Their prices are going up. So maybe they're going to do the premium Apple Watch competitor because, hey, never settle, right? But this watch absolutely does settle. It's actually all about settling. It's kind of the whole point. It costs less than half of what an Apple Watch Series 6 does. And so if you can settle for a not very premium overall smartwatch that only costs $159 and has a basic feature set and lasts a week and a half, then that's what you're getting. But that has to be what you want. So $159, that puts it in the mid-range smartwatch category. That's in line with the discounted Galaxy Watch 3. It's cheaper than the Moto 360 and even cheaper than the Apple Watch SE right now. But the design is kind of, I'm going to use the word peacocking, meaning it looks just as high-end as all the premium smartwatches out right now. It's got a big 1.4-inch OLED display, 454 by 454 resolution, pretty sharp, and it's housed in this pretty modern, clean version of the traditional circle watch shape. It's the dark, polished stainless steel all the way around. It shows more fingerprints than straight-up aluminum, but it's not bad. And there's only 2 buttons. There's no rotating bezel or digital crowns or anything like that, just the 2 buttons on the side, one of which has the only OnePlus logo on the whole watch. And inside the bezel, there's some nice little concentric rings that only show when it just hits the light the right way. It's just, the thing is big. Like, this is a 46mm watch, and if you're like me, you've got smaller wrists, or you just don't want a huge circle on your wrist, consider yourself warned. This is a big watch. But yeah, I mean, aside from the kind of thick bezels, this is a pretty premium build smartwatch. It's stainless steel, IP68, pretty high resolution display, it's chunky. Maybe it's a little generic, but I don't think they've settled on the build of the watch. It's when you start to use the watch that the settling starts to become more obvious. So let me just say the best part of using the OnePlus Watch is the battery life. 100% it's the battery life. It's got a 402 milliamp hour battery and it lasts at least a solid week of regular use. I'm not exaggerating at all. It's great. You literally don't have to worry about it for an entire week of battery. I do know GPS tracked workouts are about the fastest way to burn through the battery, but this thing is still rated for 25 hours straight of GPS tracked exercise. So you literally can't kill it in a day. OnePlus says if you have light use, you can get up to 2 weeks, and I don't doubt that, even with my fairly heavy use of getting all kinds of notifications and doing workouts with it, keeping brightness high when outdoors. I went a week using it every day, and I still didn't kill it. One thing you'll notice is it's pretty snappy with the raise to wake, but it's equally super fast to turn off the screen as soon as possible. Like as soon as it thinks you're not looking at it anymore, screen is off. And the max screen timeout you can set in the app is only 8 seconds. So it's really not trying to have the screen on for too long when you're not using it. But of course, that also means there's no always on display, which could be a deal breaker for some people. And OnePlus did say they're going to add that in a later software update, but we'll see what that does to the battery life. But when it finally does get to be time to charge, which I only had to do once at the end of my week of testing, there's these 2 pins on the back, and then there's a plastic puck with magnets in it that does an impressively good job of snapping into place, just lining up the pins. And then it charges up to full within half an hour, and you're good to go for another week. So, premium build, check. Nice battery life, check. Using the watch, disappointing in every turn. It's honestly like surprising how many features it either lacks compared to the competition or just doesn't do well at all. So the UI through this custom OS is simple. Swipe down for quick settings and battery, swipe up for notifications, press the top button to go home, and swipe left to go back. And there's some decent controls within the OnePlus Health app, which works on all Android phones. That'll let you change watch faces or change your step count goal, preload music, simple things like that. But the list of things this watch doesn't do yet, or just straight up can't do at all, is pretty long. Okay, so there are no third-party watch faces at all, and the included watch faces have very minimal customization and almost never any complications. There's no assistant, no NFC payments, no always-on display as of right now, and bizarrely, no tap to wake. So I kept trying to tap to wake this watch because every other watch has tap to wake. This one doesn't. The watch shows you notifications, but you can't really do anything about them. Like, you can't manage notifications by clearing them individually, and only a handful of apps actually support any canned replies. There are no third-party apps, and there are only about 20 pre-installed ones, which seems like a lot, but that includes apps like the flashlight, which just turn the screen white, better than nothing, I guess, or the Breathe app, which uses haptics and a soothing animation to help you breathe deeply, kind of like Apple's, and then puts that data nowhere that I could find. And then there's the Stress app, which just tells you if it thinks you're stressed or not. So you're literally opening an app to have it tell you if you're stressed or not. You can connect headphones and listen to music from the watch, but only through the OnePlus Music app. So if you go for a run with your watch and you're out of range of your phone, there's no streaming Spotify through the watch to your headphones. Only music you have stored locally on the watch through the OnePlus Music app. So then, like I said, your boy walked around with 2 watches on, just had to do it to test these things. And I've been hearing, as I'm testing, I'm reading a lot of articles and seeing videos of people who are getting off step counts. Like, the OnePlus watch will count like dramatically less steps than other smartwatches. So that's something I kept an eye on. And sure enough, at the end of my testing, I did have less steps counted. Not as dramatically less as some other people, but I did have less steps counted on the OnePlus watch. I had a day with 4,457 Apple Watch steps, and the OnePlus watch on the opposite wrist on the same day counted 3,987 steps. So I'm sure over longer workout periods, that roughly 10% difference is gonna really start to add up. Then the fitness tab in the OnePlus Health app, it's supposed to show a map down here. You can tell because it says Google at the bottom for Google Maps, but it's not showing a map. Sleep tracking data doesn't really sync yet. There is no parkour mode like there was in the launch video commercial. Apparently that's coming with a promised software update. So all those negatives, they're settling, basically, right? But technically, all of these things are also comparisons to other smartwatches, like their expectations. If I'm expecting this watch to behave like other smartwatches because it kind of looks like one, then maybe I'd be disappointed. So if all you expect from this watch, if all you really need is just basics, shows you the time, gives you your notifications, and happens to have like a 2-week battery life and maybe has a couple extra bonus features, then that's fine. That's what it does. But if you have any other extra specific needs over that, then there are better options. My overall theory with this watch is it was rushed, which I don't know why. For some reason, like, it's April. It didn't have to be out now or rushed, but it's missing so many things that could potentially be better or change the software. And there are already a bunch of software updates either happening with OnePlus's app or already planned and promised by OnePlus for this watch. Here's the thing. My golden rule in tech, as you might already know, is never, ever buy a gadget or a piece of tech based on the promise of future software updates. Like, you should buy it being happy with the way it is now, with no updates, and if it happens to get some updates, then that's a bonus. But yeah, a lot of the stuff about this watch is definitely just, it's software. So it's running an STM32 processor, and it has 4 gigs of RAM. That's a lot for a watch, 4 gigs of RAM, but yet the performance is still choppy. Maybe that can be fixed with a software update. You know, that step counting difference, those workout tracking deficiencies, maybe that can be fixed with a software update. But that's all a big maybe right now. It's also gotten a software update already that's improved GPS accuracy and improved notification sync, even though I still have a bug with it. And there's some other promised software updates that would enable always on display and should add all 110 workout modes so you can finally track those parkour workouts. But again, that's just promised. Maybe someday there will be an update with third-party apps or third-party watch faces, but that's a maybe someday. I wouldn't count on it. So the point is, it's just all very maybe and promised and future. it's not what you're buying. So my job is to show you what you're buying, which is the OnePlus watch. It's a big, basic, kind of generic smartwatch, but that does its job of a couple things: shows you the time, shows you notifications, lasts a long time on battery, and that's about it. It's just funny that they've packaged it in like this, such a nice premium body. If you were looking forward to like a Apple Watch for Android type of competitor, that's not what this is, clearly. I am still looking forward to maybe that Pixel watch that's coming out. We've seen the rumors. Maybe that'll be it. But until then, it's all maybe. Lots of maybes in this video. Let me know what you think. Would you be down with this type of settle for a OnePlus watch that just does the basics? Let me know. Either way, that's been it. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.